The last thing that you're actually going to see is about linear equations. My grid's pretty nice, so I'm going to try to use the same one here. You would be asked to plot the points. Let's see, what will it say? It'll say graph the points that satisfy the equation. Let's say they give you an equation of y equals x plus 1. They give you the equation. They want you to plot all points, not all of them. There'd be an infinite number of points that could plot into this. But they want you to plot some points that would fit into that equation. Now, you might remember this. We made a little, oh, I'm going to be off the board. Let me go up here. We would make a chart of XY solution. And you would tell x what to be. You assign x a value. Well, we like to assign small, easy values. So I usually choose a -1, 0, and 1. If x has a value of -1, I plug that into this equation. Y equals -1 plus 1. Y equals 0. So when x has a value of -1, we find out that y has a value of 0. And there's my first ordered pair. This is actually a little ordered pair chart. Now, when x has a value of 0, you plug that in place of x. X is equal to 0 plus 1. Y is equal to 0 plus 1. Y is equal to 1. So when x has a value of 0, y has a value of 1. And there's my second ordered pair. And then we chose 1. Now, you could choose any numbers you want for x. You could choose any numbers. You could plug anything in for x there. The reason we chose -1, 0, and 1 is that it's easiest. They're just small numbers, and it'll satisfy what we're trying to do without doing a lot of tough arithmetic. If x has a value of 1, I'm going to plug 1 in place of x. And here we get 1 plus 1. How often does that happen? Y equals 1 plus 1. Y equals 2. So when x has a value of 1, y has a value of 2. And these are the three ordered pairs that I'm going to graph. -1 and 0. -1 and 0 is right there. I'm going to make the dot kind of big so you can see it. 0 over and 1 up. 1 over and 2 up. And so we can see here are our points that all satisfy that equation. Okay? That will get you through page 729. And then 731 is all about changing from one unit to another unit. Remember, this is skill review week. We're just reviewing some things that we learned in algebra in order to make these first couple chapters a little bit easier for us. And they have a great chart on pages 730 and 731. You don't have to memorize those right away, and I'll be giving you a formula sheet as well. But there are metric units. That's the ones that are easiest to learn. It's meter, centimeter, millimeter, it's kilometer. Then there's what we used to call English units. They're called customary units. That's inch, foot, yard. And they each have their own conversions, the way to convert from one measure to another. And you'll need to use those charts for right away, unless you already have them memorized, in which case that's great. But we'll be working towards memorizing these. And they will ask you something like, I'm going to give you an easy one, 2 feet. How many inches? Rewrite 2 feet in inches. Okay? Now you can think of it this way. If I have 2 feet, it's roughly, I can't get in front of the camera all the way. Here we go. It's roughly like this, 2 feet. How many inches is that going to be? I like to use the cancellation method. 2 feet. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So I would cancel feet out, multiply straight across, and get 24 inches. I like to use the cancellation method, and all I do is I put something that's equivalent up here, and I make sure that feet are on the bottom here so that feet can cancel out. I'll show you this in class. You also can just think, okay, for every 1 foot there's 12 inches. So I have 12 inches and I have 12 inches. Okay, I've got 24 inches. That works with small numbers. If you're given something like 1,300 feet, it's not as fun to use that one. But you certainly could still take it times 12. Okay? So you're going to be converting from one thing to the next. That would obviously be a customary unit or an English unit. You would have to know if I was going to change 12 feet into yards. Okay, 12 feet is pretty long. It takes 3 feet to make up 1 yard. I like to use the cancellation method. There's 3 feet to every 1 yard. I multiply this by canceling. I multiply straight across in the numerator. 12 yards over 3. And then I reduce that and I get 4 yards. And I like that method. Again, you could think that, okay, if I've got 12 feet, every 3 feet makes 1 yard. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And you could still get the answer of 4 yards. So you can think of it either way that you want to. The book walks you through some great sample problems on this. Hopefully this is review for you, so it won't be too difficult. When you're doing metric, remember that metric is just 10. Oh, I'm making a number line. I don't mean to do that. This is a habit. We're going to do metric. Let's say we have meters here. Centimeters, millimeters, kilometers. 1 meter, split 1 meter, by the way, is roughly the length of a yardstick. It's very close to the length of a yard. But if I took that meter stick and I cut it up into 100 even pieces, I would have each one of those pieces would be a centimeter. 100 little pieces, 100 little centimeters equals 1 meter. If I took that same meter stick and cut it up into 1,000 pieces, each one of those little pieces would be a millimeter. And if I took that meter stick and I laid 1,000 of them out end to end, I would have 1 kilometer. Oops. So 1/100th of a meter is a centimeter. 1/1000th of a meter is a millimeter. But 1,000 of those meter sticks laid out end to end is a kilometer. So when you're changing from one unit to the next in metric, it's really just a matter of moving the decimal point. And metric, you know, we think of meter because that's a length. That's like a yardstick. But there's also mass, that's measured in grams. There's also volume, which is measured in liters. And that's all done according to the metric. So you'll see some different, you'll see milligrams, kilograms. And again, all of the conversion charts that you need are on pages 730 and 731 so that you can convert from one to another. We will actually do a bunch of these in class on Thursday, so give it a try. Hopefully it's review for you. And you have 9 through 29 on page 731, and just do the odds, the odd numbered ones only, and then you can check your work. Okay? That does it for Tuesday's lesson.